Assalamualaikum and greetings to you all. This is Sabina Victor, and today I am going to present finally my session on digital citizenship. So, let's discover what digital citizenship is all about. Now, it's a whole new reality of learning for students with so much communication and education now happening online. Our responsibility as adults and educators now extends beyond the classroom to a world within keyboards, HTML codes, and teaching students to navigate these digital spaces. Responsibly is a major part helping them develop a healthy relationship with the world around them. And integrating digital citizenship in your classroom is a vital part in this process. So, the purpose of digital citizenship is to empower or to create awareness among people on how to navigate or how to use the digital world, such as social media, safely, ethically, and responsibly. It involves the understanding and respecting the rights and responsibilities of being a digital citizen. Since this session is being recorded, I want you to write your responses on the YouTube comments, your answers to these questions. And those questions are, which apps do you like to mostly use? Which app do you use for socialization? What type of content do you share on social media? Do you accept unknown friend requests on Facebook? And I will read your responses later on. Moving on, digital citizenship. Now, digital citizenship refers to responsible technology usage, and teaching digital citizenship is essential to helping students achieve and understand digital literacy as well as ensuring cyberbullying prevention, online safety, digital responsibility, digital health, and wellness. You need to discuss with your students about cyberbullying, effective password, view protection, plagiarism, social media, netiquettes, etc. Now, there are 9 elements of digital citizenship. And what are those 9 elements? Let's get to know now. The first one is digital access. It is the equitable distribution of technology, not only understanding who has access to technology, but limitations and consequences to those who have limited access to technology. Number 2 is digital commerce. Is the buying and selling of goods. This principle focuses on making safe and informed decisions when purchasing or downloading materials online. Next is digital communication. Is understanding the different modes and mediums of digital technology, when to appropriately use them. For example, understanding when sending an email is appropriate versus sending a text message. Next is digital etiquettes, is the understanding of appropriate code of conduct and procedures when using mobile devices. It extends beyond recognizing bad behavior in that it actively encourages appropriate and responsible behavior online. Next comes digital literacy or fluency, is the process of understanding digital technology, how to use it in its many forms and how to adapt when new technologies are introduced. It also extends to internet usage and how to effectively search and evaluate information. Then comes digital health and welfare, is the maintaining sound technological practices to promote physical and psychological wellness. Practicing eye safety, balancing screen time, and technology usage are all related to this important principle. Next is the digital law, is the understanding and complying with online rules and policies and how to use technology ethically. Digital law is broad and covers topics from spam to cyberbullying. Next comes digital rights and responsibility are the freedoms that extend to everyone online. Examples of this include a right to privacy and free speech. Lastly comes digital security and privacy are electronic precautions to bolster online safety. Secure passwords, not sharing passwords, backing up data, antivirus protection are all examples of this principle. Then we come to is the dangers of social media. Yes, social media has its disadvantages, or what we call it the dangers. First one comes, there are three broad categories you can see on your screen, that is physical health, mental health, and bad content. So now I move to the first category, that is physical health. And the first one is sedentary behavior. Now, sedentary behavior means spending time seated or inactive. Any screen time, including the for social media, encourages people to stay sedentary for a long period of time. A sedentary lifestyle, therefore, has negative effects on your heart circulation, muscle tone, bone health, and immunity. How to avoid? Aim to be active every day. That is the first one. Number two is break up long periods of screen time with a stretch, walk, or any type of movement. Second is less sleep. Now, a survey conducted among teenagers has found out that 1/3 of them have admitted to sleeping with their cell phones next to them in bed. And a similar pattern has been observed even among some adults. Alerts on phones, such as notification from social media app, can affect sleep quality. How to avoid? Number one is set a digital curfew for 1 hour before bed. Number two is at night, plug the phone in across the room or in another room. Number three is silence the phone at night. And lastly, limit the apps you use in the evening. At the same time, this excessive use or overexposure to social media can also be harmful for the eyesight. It can also make one glued to their seats for a long time, as I have discussed in the sedentary behavior. Next I come to is the mental health. Now, when I say the first one is addiction, I mean social media addiction. Scrolling apps, refreshing feeds, and getting likes on a post gives the brain a good chemical reward. It makes a person feel good, especially chemicals such as dopamine. This keeps users or apps longer and returning more. A person can spend so much time, therefore, using or thinking about social media that gets in the way of responsibilities, well being, and relationships. Next is the bad content. Now, when I say bad content, uh, sorry, I mean how to avoid addiction. That is, track how much time you spend on social media and you need to set boundaries. That's the first one. Second is take an afternoon day of second is cyberbullying. Now, excessive time on social media is linked to cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a verbal and social bullying through instant messaging, social gaming sites, email, texting, or social media. Now, how to avoid? Educate yourself about cyberbullying and its effects on students and adults. Protect your password. Never open unidentified or unsolicited messages. Next is log out of online accounts. Set up privacy controls. Raise awareness about cyberbullying among others. Next we have is less time for activities and face-to-face meeting. Now, social media can be harmful when it replaces time with family and friends. Some opportunities to build social skills can't be recreated online. Now, how to avoid it? Number one is make time for your family and friends. Number two is when you are with other people, take a break from the phone. Next, we come to is social comparison and self-image. Now, social comparison is when someone evaluates themselves based on someone else's life, experiences, and characteristics. It can cause a person to have negative thoughts and feelings about themselves. Social media, therefore, can have a positive effect on someone's self-image. It's a place, therefore, for diverse representation and self-expression. Unfortunately, for some users, social media can have a negative effect. It can shatter self-esteem and self-confidence. For example, influencers who create negative video clips such as damaging public property or harming themselves using abusive language, posting sarcastic messages and memes. And how to avoid all this? Reflect on how you feel when you use social media. There may be times in your life when a break from social media is a good choice for your well-being. Next comes, uh, this social media can also have an adverse effect on the mental well-being, especially if one is constantly using it. And if you post information about someone which can harm the image of another person, so that is also not good at all. So think twice when you are posting about someone. If you are not sure about a certain information about somebody, please avoid it. Because if you post fake information or incorrect information, you are putting your own reputation at stake. Next comes is the bad content. Now, in bad content, we have misleading information. Misleading information is that information which can mislead someone or misguide someone about a person, event, a thing, etc. Then scams. Scams are frauds in terms of online businesses, investments, and online shopping. How to avoid? If something sounds too good to be true, it is better to ask questions or do some extra research before spending money online. And it is somewhat similar to misleading of marketing. And lastly, we come to inappropriate content. When I say inappropriate content, I mean explicit content which is not meant for children and teenagers, but for adults, such as adult-rated movies. Uh, Topics which can even harm the well-being of children, such as the Pride Day. All right. So these are some of the dangers of social media. Moving on. Now, there's a question that I want to ask you all. Why is digital citizenship important for students? So I want you to write your responses, therefore, on the on the comments section, therefore on YouTube. Moving on. Next, we come to is the importance of digital citizenship for adults. Now, from the adult perspective, digital citizenship can help the adults to role model, as they can be role models on in the digital world by being responsible, by displaying online responsible online behavior or positive behavior. Then is privacy awareness. It helps adults to understand and safeguard their digital privacy. Then is staying informed. It helps the adults, therefore, to keep pace with the evolving online trends and potential risks. Next, I come to is the strategies to promote digital citizenship among students. The first strategy is that is, schools or educational institutions should conduct workshop to educate students about online safety, cyberbullying, or responsible digital behavior. Then involve the parents to actively participate in digital citizenship programs and discussion. In create awareness among parents, because see, as it is said that charity begins from home, parents also need to be made aware about what is digital citizenship, how they can establish rules at home. I will be sharing an example of the rules which can be set for students by teachers and by parents at home. Then next is the interactive activities, that is organized activities such as group discussion, which I'll be giving you an example later on in my presentation. Role-playing scenarios, case studies to engage students in real-world digital citizenship dilemmas. Then you can even invite guest speakers who are experts or professionals who can share their experiences and about digital citizenship, something which is very much relevant to today's 21st century society. Next, this is what I was talking about, netiquettes. Now, netiquettes actually means it comes from the word combination. It is a combination of internet plus etiquette. So when you combine the two, it is known as netiquettes. That means what appropriate behavior should one possess online. So these are some examples over here, which I have given you in the screen. You can see there are two broad categories, that is for students and for parents. All right. Moving on. Then teachers can also have an activity done with the students, that is, am I a digital citizen? The purpose of this activity actually is to make students share that what are the attributes or the qualities of a good digital citizen, such as respect, such as being mindful about one's behavior, etc., etc. All right. Next, I come to is teach students to become expert digital researchers, and how this can be done when you guide your students how to ask correct questions to to search engines such as Google. Second is then is essential research and critical thinking skills for students. Then is also teach your students about plagiarism. That means copying someone else's work and not giving credits for it. And citing and acknowledging other people's work. Then is how to make a query, how to synthesize, record the information once they have researched. Then there are other strategies such as interactive discussions, where you can have discussions on case studies related to cyberbullying, intellectual property, or online etiquettes. You know, the Facebook is a very good example of for online etiquettes, even cyberbullying. So, you know, you can ask your students questions that have you come across incidents on Facebook or maybe some other social media app. And and also you can ask them that if they have ever been victims of cyberbullying, how did they feel? And then you can guide them appropriately by explaining to them the measures of through anti-bullying education measures. And if students become aware about social media activities, it will help them to make better decisions. And it will also help them to differentiate what is morally acceptable or what is considered evil or immoral. Moving on, you can also create pledges on digital citizenship with students. This can be done with the adult students, with the ones who are in secondary or higher secondary school students, or even with college and university students also. An example of such pledge is that the first one is, I respect others online. I will treat individuals with kindness, empathy, and respect in my online interactions. I will refrain from engaging in cyberbullying, hate speech, or any form of online harassment. I understand that everyone has the right to feel safe and included in digital space. This is the first example. Second example is, I will protect my privacy and the privacy of others. I will be mindful of the personal information I share online and take steps to safeguard my privacy. I will respect the privacy of others by seeking permission before sharing the personal information or posting photos, videos of them. I understand that privacy is essential for maintaining a safe and trusting digital environment. So these are the two examples of pledges that I have shared with you all. And in conclusion, digital citizenship is a very important topic for the 21st century classroom. Be it a school, college, or university, we need to create awareness among our students as educators on how to be safe in the digital world and to prevent uh, social media vices such as cyberbullying, online harassment, or any other form of online abuse. With this, my presentation comes to an end. I hope you liked it. And if you have any questions, do discuss or do ask me through WhatsApp, and I will be happy to answer your queries and questions. So take good care of yourself. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz.